Podcast City Network.
This is Final Score, your number one podcast for sports news. Here are your hosts, Chris and Craig.
Hey guys, we're here for another exciting episode of Final Score, episode 60, and this one's going to be a doozy because we're doing things we haven't done before, including actually giving away something live on air, giving away a $20 Visa gift card to a lucky participant who's able to call in and answer our trivia question. And it's a good one. You know, I worked really hard on this one, and there's so many I had to battle through to be able to get to the one I picked, but I'm so happy with it. So we'll see how good our followers are, but of course, we can't have an episode without the one, the only Craig. How you doing, bud? We missed you last week.
I'm doing great, man. Yeah, we got back to work for our day job, so you know that's what I was doing last week and was out of town traveling. But it's good to be back. I'm glad to be. It's weird just having you and I. Like,
yeah.
It feels different. Like it's back to like basics. But I see you've been doing work back there. You got a whole like a fort, if you will, right?
Oh yes, I am. If you can't tell yet, I am broadcasting from none other than the Queen Fort that I built for my daughters. This thing is large and elaborate, and it's pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie, I feel kind of like a little sheik, you know, back out in the desert or something. Like it's really cool, and, you know, it's all decorative. But you know, we've been having a lot of fun. You know, gotta try and keep it interesting through quarantine. I will not be returning to work for another week, so you know, I still got a little time to play around with things like my Queen Fort. God, it's an engineering marvel, I tell you what. But still, it's been a lot of fun. And, you know, we've been slowly seeing things also kind of returning with sports. So, you know, hopefully we're going to see a lot more exciting things. And if you want to see more exciting things, especially here on Final Score, you got to make sure that you follow us on social media. And all you have to do is go on to Facebook, Twitter, onto YouTube, Twitch, or Instagram. Search at PCN Final Score. Give us a like, give us a follow. Make sure to invite your friends, share us with your friends, leave a comment. Tell us how awesome we are because, you know, I don't need my ego stroked enough. But, you know, at the end of the day, we like to know how we're doing. So, hey, if you think we're doing crap, hey, let us know, man. We'll try to fix it. So that's what we try to do. We try to bring the very best that we can to our fans because that's what matters to us.
Absolutely, and one of the interesting things that we think we bring to the table as far as our show is obviously if you're watching us live, that's awesome. But also we release just the audio for a lot of our platforms. Like so, we've got, I think, that versatility where we have our video and audio aspect. So after every episode is broadcasted live here on Twitch and on Facebook, you can always find all of our content on any platform that you listen to podcasts on: Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, Stitcher, Podbean, and then also Bullhorn is another one as well. Google Podcasts, PodChaser. I could go on forever, but you can find all of that. All of those platforms all have Final Score. All you got to do is search Final Score, one word, to find any of the content that we have. And, of course, we also release everything on YouTube. That would be our episodes, any interviews we do, any other one-off segments we do, and, of course, our game streaming that we've started up over the last month. All of that's going to be on YouTube, and just search PCN Final Score, and you can find it all there.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of awesome stuff that we've been trying to do lately because, you know, we are really trying to bring the very best Final Score that we can. So, you know, why not? Why hitting you with more and more content? I tell you what, it's going to be awesome. But, you know, we have a really crazy show lined up for today, but we do have to kind of start it off with a little bit of a somber moment.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, obviously we've heard a lot of celebrities and everything passing away from coronavirus complications and everything, but we had a couple of big ones in the sports world, not related to COVID-19, and that would be legendary coaches Jerry Sloan and Eddie Sutton. If you're not familiar with them, Jerry Sloan was the head coach most notably for the Utah Jazz, took them to the NBA Finals in 97-98, against those mighty Chicago Bulls. And then also after a big playing career with the Chicago Bulls, long time ago. So we lost him over the last week or two, as well as legendary college head coach Eddie Sutton of Oklahoma State lore. So it's really sad anytime you see these legends pass away, but that's kind of what life's all about. You do what you got to, you do the stuff that you love to do, and then hopefully leave a lasting legacy for those behind you. And I think both of those guys did that with their respective organizations, and how they were just so well developed in their craft of coaching.
Yeah, absolutely. And they brought so much to the basketball world and were able to inspire a number of young men to be able to, see more to that you could get out of the sport of basketball more than just playing a game, being able how to lead your life and how to be men. And it's really sad to see this happen. But, at the end of the day, our thoughts and condolences go out to their friends and family. And we'll go ahead and give a moment of silence. I actually created a nice little graphic for this. So, just a moment for Jerry Sloan and Eddie Sutton. Man, really crazy though. But we still have a lot here on Final Score. And we're gonna jump into something I find very interesting, and that's Podcast City Network. See, you guys thought I was gonna go to a segment, and I caught you guys. See what I did there? I got you, because Podcast City Network, is really what helps Final Score do everything that we do. And you can find them in all sorts of different outlets. Podcast City Network starting to spread kind of everywhere, but you can find them on Facebook at facebook.com/Podcast City Network, on Twitter at Podcast City Net, on YouTube by searching Podcast City Network, and of course on their website, podcastcity.net. But you know what? Podcast City Network is doing something even more different now, because now they offer an array of membership services, including logo design and branding, social media advertising, live podcast hosting, and much, much more. And it's really crazy, trust. But at the end of the day, you'll also gain access to our network of shows to help with cross-promotion, guest, and overall reach, while also becoming a part of an ever-expanding PCN community based on people helping people. And that's the important part, because the best part is there's no membership fee. So what are you waiting for? Go to podcastcity.net/join now and join the fastest-growing independent podcast network around, Podcast City Network.
Absolutely. We've got a lot of actually a few new shows that have joined the network. So if any of those shows are watching or check this out later, first, welcome to the network.
Yes.
And we're always looking for new shows to help join the network, and whether it's a podcast or game streaming or anything like that, we're always looking for people to help kind of grow the network as well as grow themselves in the process. So do we have the info for how to join up, or is that?
Yeah, all you have to do is go to podcastcity.net/join now. It'll have all the information there you need, and gives you everything that you need to be able to submit to Podcast City Network to be considered. So it's a really great thing, and definitely any questions, feel free to reach out to Podcast City Network through their Contact Us portal through podcastcity.net. So a lot of great stuff, man. I tell you what. And they also been doing some work. I did receive word from your very own Chris Carnage that there is a new show that has signed that will be announced here in the coming days. So definitely make sure to keep an eye out when that announcement comes.
Yeah, just go check out All Things Podcast City Network on Facebook, Twitter, and then, of course, at podcastcity.net to see the announcement when it comes up. We're excited. I know we're waiting for we've got a few other shows in the pipeline, and we're ready to bring them on and help them grow.
Definitely. But back to business, because we have something really big that just happened on the horizon, because the Power Five conferences of college football have approached Congress about trying to move forward with name, image, and likeness laws for student athletes, and to not wait on the NCAA. Now, this is kind of big, because now you're starting to see universities circumventing around the NCAA to try and get these kinds of things done. What's your take on this?
Well, this letter came. It was obtained by Brett McMurphy in Stadium, and in this letter, it's a 3-page letter from the Power Five conferences to Congress to, quote, support legislation providing a single standard national standard for NIL that would protect student athletes, provide economic opportunity, and promote academics, end quote. So this is really something that's been a hot topic for a long time in college sports. Is should the players get paid more? Should they be allowed? And the names and likenesses. Of course, this for us gamers, this is fun
Mm-hmm.
opportunity for maybe the door opens up for more college sports games.
It definitely
But
could.
it's more so the
Please.
NCAA now has really become you can't have a job while you're working in college because you're making money, and they say it's unfair, or you can't get anything given to you, you can't sign anything for charity, you can't do this, can't do that. NCAA is just basically just becoming the no, you can't do that, but then they don't do anything about it. They don't do anything about it to help these kids. And of course, the age-old argument: should they get paid? Should they not get paid? How much is the college education worth? If you're going to a Power 5 school in college football or college basketball, which is the two sports this is centered around, I'm pretty sure you're not thinking about the rest of your life right now. You're thinking about trying to get to the pros.
Mm-hmm.
So I have no problem with this because NCAA, we've talked about this off camera a lot over the last year and a half,
A lot.
that NCAA eventually is going to just have to crumble and go away, and a new organization is going to have to come in to kind of make things better. NCAA is trying to keep things the way they were in the 1950s because they're run by people that were alive then.
That's true.
That's what they're to say that they are in the best interest of the student athletes. They're not. These people are these elder people that are in these positions. They don't give a shit about these college athletes. They just want to keep raking in the money from the March Madness tournaments, from the bowl season, from the college football playoff. Now that's all they care about. So I'm completely for having the Power 5 conferences, and I've said this, that it's been inevitable for the last 5 to 10 years. College Power 5 conferences are going to break away. They're going to give a big middle finger to the NCAA. We're doing our own thing, and I think we're going to see a much better product from the sports standpoint. Now, from the classroom and all that kind of stuff, that's a completely different topic for another day. But I mean, we're talking about just sports. I think it's going to happen, and this is a great opportunity because it's shut down. NCAA wants to wait. They don't want to open campuses, and they're not saying that they have the power. They're saying, well, all the states and universities have the power themselves.
Yeah.
But if the university says, hey, we want to open the fall, NCAA says, no, you can't. But they're not doing anything to help. So I think it's inevitable.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way because this is a big signal they're sending to the NCAA, and we've been seeing the NCAA just slowly over time losing power over all of these universities, and everybody's starting to realize we really don't need the NCAA to dictate to us how these need to go, because with a lot of what's going on with the NCAA's plan on how to deal with the name, image, likeness issue, is they basically want to take an approach of slow bureaucratic, just slow grinding approach, and there's no need for that because they want to let it play out, see how it goes, maybe wait until a proposal could get crafted in November, maybe vote on it in next January. Nobody's trying to wait around for this stuff because there are students having issues with this now. And they need to make sure that if they want to be able to attract the recruits that they want, to be able to get the kind of exposure they want, to continue to get the TV deals that they want, and to grow and make the money that they've been making, they know that this is an issue that has to be dealt with ASAP, because this is going to end up being a larger issue that's going to blow up in the face of the NCAA if they end up having to deal with this, because and the NCAA's proven it, that they would botch any kind of an approach to this, because the NCAA is always going to find a way to put their finger in the pie. That's how it always works with the NCAA. It's how we ended up with the BCS, for crying out loud, and that was a mockery unto itself. So
in the BCS wasn't completely terrible, but the way they went about it, I agree. They screwed it up. They just want to make sure that at the end of the day, they still have the power. They have everyone under their thumb. I mean, look at the Trevor Lawrence situation. When the coronavirus happened, they tried to raise money to donate to people, and they said, no, you can't do that. And then they quickly backtracked when everyone basically was up in arms about it.
Oh, yeah, and you look deeper into that, it wasn't even the NCAA that initiated. It was the Clemson Oversight Committee who were too scared of what the NCAA would do. So once the NCAA found out and they are already seeing the backlash, they're like, yeah, no, we're going to go ahead and make this okay.
Yeah,
It's just
and
so ridiculous.
Yeah, that's the thing too, because think of where Clemson's football program is now. Now, if this was Clemson's football program 15 years ago, they wouldn't have said anything because they weren't at the level of where they are now.
Right.
But because they're so afraid of getting hit with bans from bowls and all this kind of stuff, like they don't want to get banned from the college football playoff for a year because of something like this. Like that's the unfortunate part of what the NCAA holds this thing of fear right over top of them all. If you don't do exactly what we say, we're going to ban you from bowl games. So I know the state of California, getting back to the subject, the state of California has already kind of told the NCAA, hey, look, we've already passed this, and all like Pac-12 schools that want to partake and pay their players for endorsements and likenesses, we're going to do it. So your move.
Yeah, right. And it's absolutely crazy. And we'll see how a lot of this goes, because now that you're trying to get Congress involved, that definitely changes the whole landscape of this, because we've already seen a lot of politicians that have started speaking out about a lot of these issues with NIL, whether it be on a state level or national level, or what kind of approaches a university should take, and blah, blah, blah. But now we're getting to the point where you see these Power 5 conferences, which control a lot of money in college athletics, pushing leadership in our government to try and literally, circumvent the NCAA to make sure this happens. So that right there, though, poses the question, could this lead to the Power 5 breaking away from the NCAA?
I've been a proponent of it for a number of years, and I think this is a perfect storm of they started passing NIL laws, and they were talking about putting it into effect in the 2021-2022 season.
Yep.
But the Power Fives, they're doing this. Not only are they doing it for leverage, this is the posturing to get the public on their side, to get the players on their side to do this, because once they do it, the Power Fives don't, from a financial standpoint, don't need the NCAA at all.
Nope.
The NCAA really only supports the smaller schools, the Sun Belts, the FCS schools, the non I guess power programs like your softballs, your baseballs, your track and field, the gymnastics. All of those schools are supported in part by the NCAA,
Mm-hmm.
but basketball and football, men's college basketball and men's college football, those sports don't need any help from the NCAA. So it's really going to be intriguing to see those schools, if and when they do break away from the NCAA, what happens to the other programs at those schools? Do they still stay with the NCAA in some sports but not others?
Mm-hmm.
Or do they completely break away? And do we see some schools shut down programs because they don't have the financial support and all they care about is college football and college basketball?
I mean, that's a really good chance. That's a really good possibility.
That's the thing that I'm intrigued about, is what's going to happen to the I'm trying to think of a school like who's not a power in a bunch of stuff. Let's say well, they're not a Power 5. I'm thinking like a
Oh, you're talking about a Power 5 school. Okay.
Let's say like a Colorado, somebody
Right.
who's not really great anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But they're a Power 5 school, or like the lesser, I would say like a Purdue or a Rutgers or a Maryland. What's going to happen to some of their programs that are not maybe as well known? Like every school's got well known for something. But yeah, let's use Colorado. Colorado, it's football, and then I'm not sure of any other sports that they have, the big sports, that would be able to be sustained by themselves.
Yeah,
unless
they're not like a UCLA.
Yeah, unless the football program or the basketball program shares money with other sports, I don't see a school like Colorado keeping all of their sports. Maybe they go down to just the basic men's and women's sports.
You definitely could see that happen at a lot of different schools, especially ones that are football powerhouses, because a lot of their programs are really centered around the football team. So a lot of them don't have success outside of that. The only one I could see being sustainable maybe is SEC schools, but realistically, I don't see a lot of schools being able to keep all of their programs outside of that. So I definitely think it could be interesting. So I don't know. We'll have to see
Yeah.
how things progress throughout the year and see if Congress picks this up. I know they're supposed to have another congressional hearing come June. I don't think they'll have anything quite that soon, but you never know.
Right.
Maybe in August, September, session they might be able to squeeze something in. So we'll see what happens and see if Congress picks this up for the Power Five conferences. But
Yeah.
something. Go ahead.
And let us know if you're watching the show right now. We got a handful of people watching on Facebook and on YouTube, or not on YouTube, Twitch. Sorry, I'm used to streaming on Twitch and YouTube too. But we got a handful of people watching on Facebook and Twitch. So we've got both of the chats going. So please feel free to share your thoughts. Let us know. I posed a question in the Facebook chat already. But let us know your thoughts. What do you think about the Power Five conferences potentially breaking away from the NCAA? Let us know. Read comments on air if you have any questions. We'll try to answer them as well.
Yeah, most definitely. But you know what I want to know your thoughts on, Craig? I want
What's that?
I want to know your thoughts about FinalScore being on PodChaser.
FinalScore being on PodChaser. Well, the first thing you got to know about PodChaser is PodChaser is your daily source for podcast discovery. Apple Podcasts is no longer the only credible place to rate and review podcasts. On PodChaser, you can follow creators, browse every podcast ever, and you can rate and review individual episodes. We're also on PodChaser. We've had a good relationship with them. Podchaser.com, just search keyword FinalScore, one word. You can go and give us a follow, give us a rating, and you can review any of the podcasts that we have. So they've got a really cool array of different services that they're starting to roll out to help podcasts and to help out connect with other guests and connect with other shows on top of a few other things. So if you want to check out anything they do, go to podchaser.com and then go search up FinalScore while you're at it.
Definitely. A lot of great stuff going on. But now we have to shift gears over to this week in sports history. And this is a good one. And before we really get into it, and I'm kind of mad about this, Kevin Wathen, as you have noticed, has not joined us today. Did not have the rugby review for us. He got caught up with heading out to the Space Coast to see the historic SpaceX launch of first Americans to be launched from American soil in 9 years. So definitely crazy. But with Kevin, though, he will have the rugby review out over the course of the next few days. Just make sure to keep your eyes peeled to the FinalScore social media accounts where when we post that up, it's going to be great stuff. So we're going to have that going too. It's going to be awesome.
Are you going?
To see the launch? Yeah, I'm going to go right on my front lawn and watch it.
Actually, once we're done, that's where we're going. We're gonna not go all the way to the site, but we're gonna get to like I-95, and it's still close enough. So.
Oh yeah, you should be good. I'd probably get a good shot of it from there.
Yeah, so we're gonna go check out that launch too today. I'm pretty stoked about that. I've never seen that stuff live before.
See, and that's a perfect segue into sports history for a historic day. Look at that. God, we just make it happen here on FinalScore. But we're going to start from the top. May 30th, 1911, the first Indianapolis 500 takes place with Ray Harone winning at an average of 74.6 miles per hour. Man, just to show you how slow cars were then.
On May 31st, 2015, Harriet Thompson, aged 92 and 65 days, becomes the oldest woman to complete a marathon. It was the Suha Rock and Roll Marathon in San Diego.
Man,
can you imagine being 92 years old running a marathon?
I don't even know if I'm gonna make it to 92. You see what I did to myself with wrestling? My gosh, that's crazy.
I couldn't even run a marathon now.
Yeah, right. Man, it's going to make me look bad. June 1st, 1939, the first major boxing match on U.S. television takes place and is a heavyweight bout between New York's, oh my goodness, I'm all over the place, Yankee Stadium between former champion Max Baer and Lou Nova. Nova wins by TKO in the 11th round. It took place in Yankee Stadium. Craziness.
That's it's funny that we haven't been doing that more often, like I know like hockey has started doing that with the Winter Classic. They go outdoors and go in different stadiums.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised we haven't seen more of that in like places like South Bend with Notre Dame Stadium with all the capacity they could fit, or
Definitely.
the Big House, which is the largest stadium in the country in college football,
Yeah.
or just places like that. I'm surprised they haven't done that more.
Yeah.
But
They
June
counts.
2nd,
Nobody cares.
June 2nd, 1933, Franklin D. Roosevelt authorizes the first swimming pool to be built inside the White House. Now, that's first world problems right there.
That's right, getting them laps in. June 2nd, 1935, Babe Ruth, at the age of 40, announces his retirement from baseball as a player, one of the greatest of all time.
Still, even to this day,
Mhm.
getting to the age of 40 in any major sport, especially baseball, is still tough. Not a lot of guys make it to that point.
Definitely.
June 3rd, 2018, Golden State Warriors guard Steph Curry breaks Ray Allen's NBA Finals record for most three-pointers with 9 in the Warriors' 122-103 Game 2 win over the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Whew. Making it rain. June 4th, 1995. And I put this on here for Kevin, which is why I'm upset. New Zealand sets the world record score for a rugby union international match when they thrashed Japan 145-17 in the World Cup in Bloemfontein, Republic of South Africa. Mark Ellis had 6 tries, and Simon Colhane had 20 conversions. 20 conversions.
So I got to know, how many times did you practice saying that city?
Maybe 3 or 4.
Maybe 3 or 4, because we know how good you are with pronouncing names and cities.
Man, you should have been here for last week's episode.
And the last one, June 4, 2008, Stanley Cup Final, Game 6 at the Civic Center in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The Detroit Red Wings, my very own Detroit Red Wings, defeat the Pittsburgh Penguins 3-2 for the 4-2 series win and the Red Wings' 11th Stanley Cup championship.
That's right. I put that one in there for you.
It was so glorious to beat Sid the Kid.
Man.
In Pittsburgh.
I'm sure you enjoyed every single moment.
Yes, I did.
You Detroit man, I tell you, I can't even make fun of you. It's like you say Detroit, and it's like,
Oh, it's okay. We feel
okay.
bad for them.
We feel bad. Here's a cookie. But you know what else is awesome? Is that you can find Final Score on Bullhorn. It's real easy. All you have to do is go download their application on your Android or Apple devices by searching keyword Final Score, one word, and give us a follow and a listen for free. And what's great about Bullhorn is they put a new spin on listening to podcasts. Bullhorn's mission is to extend the reach of podcasts to everyone's ears, regardless of location or income. No data or expensive smartphone is needed, and stream from your device or call into your podcast of choice without using up your data. That's right. They try to make it as easy as possible to listen to your favorite podcast. So definitely go on there and search for Final Scoring. And like I said, give us a like and a follow and listen to us for free. It's that easy.
It's that easy. All right, let's move on to Give or Go. This is going to be fun because we have a little bit of a shorter show, but these segments right here could literally be their own segments too.
Absolutely.
So we just kind of we decided to throw things together where we can. So I guess this is going to end up going back and forth, but I'll toss it to you to start. NFL owners approved an extension of their deal with Electronic Arts, better known as EA, through 2025, which could be through 2026 if revenue markers are hit. Now we're talking about their exclusive rights deal for the Madden NFL franchise. I'm not even gonna ask Give or Go because
you already know. You already
know.
know. So here we go. This is what's going to happen. So with this deal, a lot of people are signaling as the forever tyrannical just oppression of EA Sports and NFL football and how it will now continue deep into the 2020s, blah, 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 blah. However, I see this as the signal of change, the proverbial you better get your ass in gear or you hitting the streets kind of thing. Because from what I see here is that they have tied so many different aspects of revenue goals into this deal that if EA Sports does not produce and make Madden a profitable game again, then I think that the NFL will start exploring other options. And let's not forget, I know a lot of people say, oh, well, it doesn't matter, but 2K did sign a non-simulation deal. And I'm sure the NFL is going to see how that relationship fosters and unfolds over the course of their contract. Because if EA slips up, 2K is going to be right there to pick up the pieces. And best believe that if EA doesn't make that money, NFL's not going to think twice about it. They're going to be like, okay, well, we're going to see what 2K can do now. You guys can go ahead and keep making Madden, but we're going to give 2K a shot too. But I'm telling you, it's going to take an utter collapse of Madden to see this actually happen. But at the end of the day, I think it will happen because look at the last 10 years of Madden. There's been generally garbage. And, there'll only been like maybe 2 good games in there. Maybe.
Right, but here's the thing that a lot of people are not thinking about, and I think this is what you forget also. The owners are the ones that approve this, right?
Yes.
And not only are the owners approving this, that's the whole reason they got this exclusive deal in the first place, because EA decided to throw a ton of money at the NFL and said, hey, we'll give you all this money, and then we're going to, we're going to have exclusive rights. And the NFL went, oh, a lump sum of money? Let's bring it on. They don't give 2 shits about us as gaming fans. EA doesn't give a shit about how much or how little we fans care about it, because guess what? EA Sports in the last year made more than $1 billion from pay-to-play things such as, oh yeah, that fucking Ultimate Team that everybody loves so much. They recorded $3 billion in profit in its fiscal year of 2020. There's no way the NFL is going to allow EA to get away with, they don't care if they put out subpar games for the last 15 years. 2005 was like the last good game they put out. Like 15 years, it was the last good game, but EA doesn't care because they make all their money off microtransactions. They make all their money off of that stupid Ultimate Team that everybody gives 2 shits about. I don't understand why people love it so much. But the NFL doesn't care, because if EA makes $1 billion off of their free-to-play stuff, or $3 billion, they don't care as long as they're getting their cut. And that's why I don't think we're going to see another franchise. If they really cared about, okay, do it or you're going to hit your ass to the curb, why did they extend it through 5 more years? They should have just done 1 or 2 years.
Well, look at the reality of it.
Cared about it.
Look at the reality of it, of development time, because you're talking about the landscape right now of gaming. Now, this is not something we talk about much on this show, but we're going to talk a little bit about the video game industry, because we are literally on the precipice of a whole new generation of gaming with Unreal Engine 5, with the Xbox Series X, with the new PlayStation 5, all this new hardware that's going to help push the boundaries of gaming today. And that's why I think they extended the deal. You're giving them enough time to not only transition into a new generation of console, but also be able to get their hands on that hardware enough to develop a game over a series of years to try and make sure that they have the ability to push the best product they can, because they've had this contract forever. Obviously, the NFL is not going to just turn their back, but everything, like you said, is money driven. And let's not forget that Take-Two Interactive with 2K Sports and with Rockstar have been making a buttload of money themselves. Is it EA Sports money? No, but you know what? They ain't doing too bad themselves and have been picking up properties left and right, including the long-running WWE franchise, which is now done by 2K. And let's not forget how popular.
Trashed.
Yeah, it has been trashed,
by the way.
but they inherited garbage, and that's partly WWE and also THQ's fault. But that's a whole nother story entirely that maybe we can create a podcast for one day. But at the end of the day, 2K does have a legitimate shot, and I feel that if they can show, especially with the other properties that they have and the amount of success that they have and the amount of money they're able to make as well, you're telling me 2K couldn't easily step right into the same role that EA Sports fills now? Especially if it's lining the pockets of the NFL. Just something to look at.
So here's the problem. Yeah, I would love to see competition amongst all games, because you can easily take this argument about Madden and you could put it right over to the NBA 2K franchise, which has now been dog shit for the last 3 or 4 years. I buy it every year and I don't know why. But they, like, without competition from EA with NBA Live, there's no reason for Madden to want to make a better Madden game without 2K. There's no reason for 2K to want to make a better NBA game without the competition from Live.
Exactly.
So that's the problem here, is that it's a never-ending, it's a vicious circle, because EA won't make their game better until they lose their exclusive license. But they're not going to lose the exclusive license unless they stop making money. If we want to make a difference as gamers, stop fucking buying Madden.
Well, I think that's been
bought
showing
Madden.
in the declining sales over the past years. Sure, are they able to move enough units to keep going? Absolutely. That's just how it is. That's the lore of Madden taking over. But when it comes down to the outright game, sales are going down. They have been going down.
But they don't care about that because they posted a 1.3. Well, what was it? I got it right here. Total revenue was up $1.3 billion for a 3-month period to end the fiscal year 2020. You know what that's from? The Ultimate Team shit in FIFA and Madden.
But that's how they've been
That's
able
where
to
they make the money.
capitalize. That's how they offset.
That's how they make the money.
But
So
look,
they don't
they're moving
care.
less
They don't
units.
care how many units they sell.
But that's
They
my
don't care how many
point.
units they
That's
sell.
how they're offsetting it is through microtransaction. You have
Right.
less physical sales, but you're able to up transaction sales. That's why the whole entire formula of DLC even came to be, is because they were losing money. They're not selling as many games. And when you get 16-year-old prepubescent teens that just want to sit there and game all day and night, drinking nothing but Mountain Dew Code Red and popping them Papa John's in the mouths, at the end of the day.
Wait. Stop explaining me here. Like, let's not talk about me.
I'm sorry that I know too much about your life now, Craig. This is what happens when you do a sports show for over a year together. But at the end of the day, it's just showing that there's a shift. And the thing is gaming is moving just kind of like how entertainment is. It's moving to a more of a streaming style service anyways. So your physical sales are going to go all out the window as it is, and everything's going to become digital. So we're in an ever-changing landscape, and I think everybody's just trying to take steps preparatorily to try and make sure they have, one, the revenue stream to keep things going into that new medium, and that they also, have options open if you're the NFL. And that's the thing that I see here. I'm not saying it's a guarantee. I think EA Sports ends up ruling our lives for the next 30 years in football. But, as long as they bring back college football, I'll be happy.
It's unfortunate also because, this is the last good game that has been productive. Which, by the way, is going to be a new series on our FinalScore game streaming. So be on the lookout for that coming out soon.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm with you. I think that they're gonna rule it. Should they? No. But if we really want to make a difference, stop buying the game. That's where you're gonna see the stuff that you're talking about. Yes, sales have been going down. Physical sales maybe. People do digital downloads now, and all their money is made on that Ultimate Team. If we stop spending money, if we stop giving them money, buying those stupid gold packs that are, you get one gold person that's rated 75 and a bunch of bronze people that are rated 60, but I spent $20 on it. That's how they get you. So
gotta play the auction block. That's what you got to do.
Right? Do everyone a favor. Stop spending money. Stop giving EA your money. Everything they touch turns to absolute garbage. And I'm hoping and praying that their sales are so bad over the next couple of years that we do get another 2K game or something. I don't even care if it's 2K. It's got to be something, because NFL needs to figure out a way. And I don't know why they went away with it. But the reason why this went away, they sold this for $20 a copy. NFL didn't like that. They sold this for $20 a copy.
But look at how many units they moved.
But not, and that's the thing though. They still did not outsell Madden this year.
That's true.
They still didn't outsell Madden, even though it was $20. People were like, "Oh, $20 tag. It must not be that good of a game," so they didn't buy it.
Well, it wasn't just that either. That year, Madden also introduced the hit stick, and that was revolutionary for football games at the time. So
I still have Madden 05 too. Those are two of the games I still regularly play because they're two of the best football games out there.
They definitely are.
I love the Tony Bruno show that they do on that.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
That was great. I love that.
That is a good one. But you know what? We do have another Giver Goats topic. Don't think it's all about EA, because screw EA and all their overlording this crap. But to you, Craig, NFL owners had a meeting this past Thursday, May 28th, to vote on a bunch of new rule changes that were going to be coming for this upcoming season. And there were some surprises on what passed and what didn't pass. Give or go.
Well, we got to give on this. The biggest one that I say, something that passed, or I should say was discontinued, was the review of pass interference.
Yes,
now,
that was discontinued.
We knew when this came up in the first place, we knew it was going to be a train wreck because hashtag Fire Al Riveron needs to be trending. The whole reason behind this came up was, of course, the Saints in their NFC Championship game, the pass interference that should have been called but wasn't called. So then they said, okay, we're going to let coaches challenge pass interference calls and challenge calls. But guess what happened when they challenged calls? The pass rate was like under 25%. It was super, super low because Al Riveron in the booth or in New York was basically like, oh, you're challenging my authority? No, call stands. Like, he basically put a big middle finger to the coaches, and it's made a mockery of what refereeing and umpiring is all about. And until Al Riveron gets fired or removed from his position some way, I don't think we're going to see a change in this. I think we're going to continue to see terrible refereeing across the board from the NFL. But that's the big one for me. I was surprised. I wasn't really surprised that it got retracted. But that's the big one for me. I hate that went away.
Yeah,
but it was lame duck to begin with.
It was, and it seemed like the NFL wasn't ever really fully behind it anyway. So I feel like it was kind of one of those, oh, we'll make you happy for a year. We'll end up bearing it anyways thanks to the horrible officiating, and it's going to go away next year because we now can somehow prove that it was ineffective. So I think it's kind of a travesty all the way around that it went down that way, but that's what we ended up with. But other measures that ended up being tabled that were interesting was the 4th and 15 onside kick alternative that they were trying to bring in that was originally brought to light by the XFL and using the XFL. That ended up being tabled, which is kind of interesting because it seemed like a lot of people were behind it, but especially for the interest of player safety, but it still ended up being tabled and not passed. So
now, yeah, it wasn't shut down. It was tabled.
It was tabled, yes.
We used that because supposedly the voting on it was 16-16. It was a dead tie.
Yes.
And it needed 24 votes to pass, and it did not get that. So it's been tabled. It hasn't been voted against. It just wasn't voted for.
Exactly. So it's something that hopefully they'll bring up in the future because it did show that it did help lessen injuries on kickoffs, especially with the fact that 4th and 15 is a lot easier to try and go out there and put your offense and a defense up against each other than to go and try and do onside kicks. Because I've seen so many dangerous things, and me and Craig even reminisced about a game we played, funny enough, way back against Tim Tebow and St. Augustine Nice in a spring game where they attempted an onside kick, and I was on the hands team, and our middle front man ended up being almost bent backwards trying to get the ball. So, it's crazy the things that happen with that. So we'll see how it works out. I think it's something that will come back up. But they also shot down the Sky Judge, the 8th referee that people have been pulling for, especially a lot of the franchises to try and make sure that we have a more fair game. Was tabled, though, and not shut down. So we might see that one in the future as well.
And that there's a big misconception about what this Sky Judge is all about. The Sky Judge is not going to be another hey, they're going to stop the game. It's just an extra eyes so that way the NFL and the referees can, if they need to replay, it's another angle for them to see. It's not going to, it's not going to make calls in the field. It's not going to do anything like that, which is what I think a lot of people are thinking that it's going to be.
Right.
But it's just there, or as a booth umpire, it's been called too. It's just a member of the officiating crew that's sitting in the press box watching from this camera just there, so that way they can overturn any erroneous calls by the on-field officials.
Definitely. And I think
it's just an extra eye.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, though. I think that one eventually will make it through, though, just because any way you can try and help make the game more fair is something that the NFL is always interested in, even if it's in the air of fairness. So we'll see how it goes. But some measures that were approved and put through, such things like automatic replay reviews, including scoring plays and turnovers negated by a foul, and any successful or unsuccessful try attempt is now permanently included. So, so definitely a lot more automatic replay reviews now that are going to be instituted, especially on plays negated by turnovers, which used to be a very big issue at one point. So,
and
really
by the way,
put that through.
To put it on the record, Miles Jack was still not down. That's where this comes from.
Yes, it does. It definitely does. But, there was two others that were put through as well, including defensive player protection being expanded to include kickoff and punt returns who have possession of the ball but haven't had time to protect themselves from opponent contact. So, again, just another defensive player protection rule that is really going to help try and lessen concussions and these big hits that we see really alter players' careers. So, definitely was kind of a no-brainer to see that one go through.
Yeah, I'm really going to be intrigued to see what's going to happen on that because now they're expanding those rules. Obviously, kickoffs are going to go away at some point.
Yes.
But the punt team is really where I'm interested to see where this affects because you're basically telling players to give the punt returner like at least a 5-yard window.
Mm-hmm.
These kind of rules could mean that we could see more punt returns, which is a very exciting part of the game. So I'm really going to be interested to see how that affects the punt team. The kickoffs, it's not going to matter because kickers kick them out of the end zone all the time anyway, so the kickoffs are basically pointless now. But the punt team is really where I'm going to be interested to see where these rules take effect.
Yeah, definitely. And it's going to be interesting. But another one that they have in there was one that kind of became an interesting issue as part of the playoffs last year, mainly between the Titans and Patriots, was clock manipulation. Now, I don't feel like we've seen like real issues with clock manipulation up until recently. And it's funny because you think a lot of these kind of rules were vetted out really 50, 60, 70 years ago. And now we're still seeing the ability to be able to have clock manipulation happen. But that now has been closed. Teams cannot manipulate the game clock by committing multiple dead ball fouls, like a delay of game followed by a false start while the clock is running. So that was the issue that they had during the Titans Patriots playoff game where we saw a dead ball foul followed by a false start that ended up just keeping the clock going. So it's crazy.
It's really funny that this came because of Vrabel and Belichick, which Vrabel played for Belichick.
Yeah.
It's really funny. Like Bill Belichick he's got to be a super genius when it comes to football because only he can come up with something like this, and then they try to make a rule to get rid of it, like taking back-to-back timeouts, and then he goes and does stuff like this. And they're like, okay, we got to make a rule for that now.
Definitely. And it's going to be interesting, but we'll see how a lot of this plays out, and I'm sure they're going to find a way to manipulate it again, but we've gotten to that time of the show. I know I think we only have so many people in watching the show right now, but hey, if you're there, we're at the time where you have the opportunity to win a $20 Visa gift card scot-free from us here at Final Score. All you have to do is answer a little sports trivia, call in with the correct answer, and you will be able to win yourself that $20 Visa gift card. So it's going to be really, really exciting. So for the question that we have today for this $20 Visa gift card, it's going to be a really good one. You ready for it? It's going to be exciting. Which 4 NFL teams have gone undefeated during the regular season? That's right. Everybody thinks there's only been one team to be able to do it. There's actually been 4. Just the other 3 didn't win a Super Bowl. It happens. So we've had 4 undefeated regular season teams. What are those teams? All you have to do is call in right now, 386-320-6146. Call us live here on the show with your answer. First caller with the correct answer will win themselves a $20 Visa gift card. So hopefully, we'll get some ring-a-ding-ding coming in here in a minute. So definitely going to be exciting. Look at that. Oh, Craig getting all active here in the chat. Look at that.
Yeah, I'm trying to do what I can to help here. I think I'm trying to I'm bouncing back and forth between Facebook and Twitch, but every time I get back in Twitch, I have to reconnect to the chat, so I don't see all the. I got to figure out a way to streamline that a little bit better. But
it's okay. We're always progressing, and now that we broadcast live on Facebook Live and Twitch, we're always trying to grow the show and find different ways to get Final Score to you guys. So we always go through a little bit of growing pains and things that we got to figure out.
I'm gonna have to be the chat moderator in the next couple episodes. Have Twitch over here, Facebook right here. All right. So while we're waiting for somebody to call in, let's talk about the week ahead.
Definitely. Let's go ahead and switch over to the week ahead. Definitely going to be a lot of exciting things going on, which if you didn't know, we are also doing another $20 Visa gift card giveaway. Thanks to Kevin Woffin and the Rugby Review. All you have to do is go on to our Final Score Facebook page at PCN Final Score, and you'll go find the post. We have a post just for this, for the $20 Visa gift card, where you have to like our page and then go and comment and share the post. You do those three things and you'll automatically be entered to win a $20 Visa gift card. That drawing, though, will take place June 1st. That's right, this Monday. So you have until 11:59 p.m. tomorrow night, May 31st, to be able to go and like our page and comment and share the contest post. So definitely going to be really exciting. Make sure to keep your eyes glued to all of our social media on Monday on the Facebook page when we announce the winner of that $20 Visa gift card. That's right. We're giving away 2 Visa gift cards, one right now and one on Monday. That's right. We're trying to do everything that we can.
Yeah, and also let's well, I'll throw in a shameless plug here. We've got we got our Final Score game stream. We have a few different series that we're doing right now. It's mostly NCAA 14 and NHL 18. So we have those two. I'll probably at some point tonight be going live. I haven't decided what time yet, but it's usually around like anywhere from 9 to 10 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
So we have those, and then we're also looking for we're gonna put out a poll for what series do you want to see next. We've got ESPN 2K5. I should be, as of today, getting my copy of NCAA College Basketball 10, the last college basketball game ever made. We have those two, and then also we have NBA and golf. I have a golf game too.
Look at you. You just got it all over there.
I got the Players Golf 2019, and then NBA. I've got a bunch of NBA 2K games to play. So we've got a few to choose from. So we're going to look for some suggestions from everybody out there. And, yeah, if you want to go check that out, we're on Twitch. I stream on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. It's at PCN Final Score. We're trying to hit 25 followers and subscribers for the YouTube and the Twitch channel. So we're at 15 on Twitch, and we're at 14 on YouTube. So we're trying to hit 25 on each one. We're trying to hit the Twitch affiliate because we just started less than a month ago on Twitch, and we already got 2 of the 4 steps to hit Twitch affiliate completed. So that's awesome. So thank you to everybody that's been supporting the stream and just supporting everything Final Score and everything Podcast City Network.
Yeah, definitely, and it's been really awesome, with everything going on, and we, like you said, we got all the streams going, we got the show going. Of course, we also have the Rugby Review, which you can keep your eye out this upcoming week as we will be releasing the Rugby Review. Kevin was unable to join us today, but he will be joining us next week, and we will have his Rugby Review out later this week as well. So it's gonna be really great stuff. He told me he's gonna have a lot of action-packed and exciting news in it. So we'll definitely see how that shakes out, but. We're still waiting on a caller. Anybody listening, definitely, if you can answer our trivia question of which 4 NFL teams have gone undefeated during the regular season, call in now so you can win yourself a $20 Visa gift card, 386-320-6146. And definitely try to call in as soon as possible, man. Win yourself a gift card.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see what else can we toss out there right now. We've got.
What else we got in the week ahead? I think we have something else in there.
Yeah, we got a few other things. We're actually also going to be starting to bring on guests to the Final Score podcast. We've got a few friends of the show that have other podcasts themselves. We're going to talk some variety of different sports. We've got different sports to talk about from. I'm trying to think. We've got basketball. We've got football.
Hockey.
We've got hockey, baseball. We've got a bunch of different podcasts that we're looking to bring on as guests. So we'll have those, and we'll announce those as we get the schedules put together for the interviews. So be on the lookout for that. Check that out, Final Score, on all of our social media platforms you see at the top of the screen.
Yes, most definitely. And of course, the NBA did announce they're going to be planning on having a vote Thursday with the league's board of governors about an expected return to play format that is expected to be approved and this is Adam Silver's plan, his recommendation for a basic 22-team format with a possible small regular season and playing games, and then a playoff that's going to be hosted at the ESPN Wide World of Sports complex in Orlando, Florida. So that vote is expected to come Thursday, and we'll definitely make sure to bring you the updates of that on next week's show, episode 61, which you can follow us on social media at PCN Final Score to get the update on when that show will happen.
Absolutely. I think since we're waiting still on some things,
nobody wants a free gift card.
Let's throw it into the comments. If you're watching right now and you want to win a $20 Visa gift card, you can throw your answer in the comments. First person that comments with correct answers will be the winner. So the question again is which 4 NFL teams have gone undefeated during the regular season? It hasn't just been 2. There's been 4.
That's right. So give us a call at 386-320-6146 or put your answer in the comments either on Facebook Live or Twitch. First person to respond and give us the correct answer will win a free $20 Visa gift card. Come on, guys. Free money. It's not that hard.
Right. I know you guys talked about it last week with the NBA moving to doing a lot of things in Orlando and having that 22-team format.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they're coming back too early?
With the kind of precautions the NBA is trying to take and the wait and see approach they've already had to this point, I think I'm very on the fence about it because I feel they're taking a very nice controlled approach to the situation. However, you're talking about having 22 teams and eventually their families also being there on the grounds in Orlando for wherever they're going to be keeping the team. So I feel like you're kind of opening yourself up to a whole myriad of problems that could really present itself. So it's really hard, and I think it's going to be one of those things that we're just going to see how it plays out. Numbers haven't been too crazy with people returning to their everyday lives with work and things like that, but you're talking about having players, families, team personnel, league personnel, all in close proximity, trying to do these games. So it's going to be interesting. But you know what? There is one thing we can point out, though, is having a 5-on-5 game of basketball keeps you right under the threshold of that CDC guideline. So just saying, at least you'll be good there.
Yeah, at least we'll be good there. It'll be nice to have competitive sports again. Did you get to see the golf scramble that they had, the little pro-am that they did?
Yes, that was definitely quite interesting.
That was great.
Yeah, definitely was interesting.
I thought it was great because not only they didn't have like caddies or anything either, did they?
I don't believe they did. I think they were actually caddying for themselves.
Yeah, they made them carry their own bags, and that's so relatable.
Oh yeah, it definitely is. It definitely is. So it made him kind of human, a little bit to us because it's like I have to carry my own damn bag, so it's
right?
like you got to as well. So we'll see, but still that question is up there for sports trivia. I'm surprised no one has tried to win this thing yet. All you got to do is post your answer in the chat or call 386-320-6146. That easy. Win some money.
Yeah, win some money. We got 3 people watching on Twitch at the moment, and we throw it in the chat there. First one to call, first one to comment with the answer wins. And I guess we'll just open up for a few more minutes. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. We can always use it again next week.
That's right.
Do a different question.
I thought I kept this one just easy enough. This is literally just an Alexa or a Google search away. Everett Lee, who has jumped in the chat, the host of the Everett Lee Show, even saying if anyone needs help to dial, just ask Alexa. She'll help. So even Alexa can help you dial into the show, 386-320-6146. So
that is very true. We are up to speed with technology to that point, at least.
Yeah, right. But no, not enough for people to want some money. Oh, so ridiculous. But it
is what it is. But we know a lot of people jump in and out of the chat or of the stream as well. Which if you join us at any point throughout the stream, we really appreciate you dropping in.
Definitely.
We know, obviously we don't do this. We don't get paid for doing this. We do this just because we love doing it. So any support from people that support the show really, really is helpful. It's beneficial for us. As something as simple as if you watch this on YouTube, hit the thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button, so that way, anytime that we go live with streams or put our content up there, you get to be the first to see it. If you're watching on Facebook, hit the like, comment on the stream. The Facebook algorithm really likes that when you comment on the streams and on the videos.
Like an answer to a trivia question?
Or like an answer to a trivia question, or just share it, because maybe you may not be a big sports fan, but if you share it, maybe friends of yours on Facebook are sports fans. Well, maybe they'll enjoy our content, and that's really all that matters. We just want to try to make it a fun show for everybody and bring some things to the table that maybe other people don't do. So any support is always beneficial, always really appreciated by us.
Yes, most definitely. And to be able to continue showing that support, just please go over to our social media accounts at PCN Final Score. Make sure that you like and follow us. That way we can try and bring you the very best that we can. We really appreciate all the support for the people who have supported us this far, but we always try to bring the very best and continue to strive for better. So I know that we are always trying to make sure that we have the best product, and we're always going to try and expand what we have, because that's the only way you can help yourself grow. So at the end of the day, it's going to be good stuff.
Yeah, we hit 2 o'clock, so I don't. If somebody hasn't commented or called in yet, I think we're going to close it.
I think, hold on, let me make it official. The phone line, boom, is closed. That's right. The phone line is closed. So sadly, we did not get any responses. But maybe next week, we'll try it again and see what we can pull off. But, sadly, this is the end of our episode. Definitely make sure to join us next week, though. But there is one other thing I think we're forgetting about some really close friends of the show that we need to mention.
Absolutely. We can't go through this show without giving a shout out to Radius Digital Marketing. And that's Alec and Sean up there. They've been really helpful in helping us build our brand and expanding our audience. They specialize in ad management, lead generation, brand awareness, and social media marketing. If you're looking to take your business to the next level, contact Alec at Alec Anuzis at radiusdm.com. That's ALEKANUZIS at radiusdm.com for more information.
Yeah, absolutely. Really great guys over there at Radius Digital Marketing have helped us really expand Final Score and push us, keep pushing us up. It's been really awesome working with them, and we will continue to do so because we're now powered by them. That's right. We're getting the flex on. So it's going to be really exciting. But sadly, this is the end of our show. Thank you all so much for watching, and definitely make sure to check for the playback that will be available on all of our content platforms in audio and video formats. But until next week for episode 61, I am Chris. That's Craig. And you just watched Final Score. Y'all have a great night. Podcast City Network.